Hello and welcome to today's Studio Army Review. We're continuing to go through the Dragon Master Exodites, and in this particular case I'm going to showcase the Warp Lord. That's what I call him. One of the interesting abilities in the Tyranid Codex is that of the Tervigon, and his ability to, well, in the Tervigon actually spawns Termagants. Well, obviously there's not going to be any dinosaur that's going to be hatching eggs, so I decided that there had to be another way to do this. And after several months, it took quite a while to get to this point, but I finally realized that with the Elder utilizing the webway so extensively, and especially the Dark Elder attacking out of it, it made perfect sense that these Exodite Dragon Masters would do the same. And so that's when it dawned on me, the Warp Lord doesn't spawn its dinosaurs that represent Termagants. It actually brings them in from the webway. So what you see in front of you is a large Megadon, and this particular case is an old model. I think it's a Lindbergh model of a Protoceratops, obviously much larger than real actual size. And on its back is a Dragon Master operator, the Warp Lord himself. And he is actually operating the warp gate, webway gate behind him. Right now it's closed. It's not energized, so you don't see anything between the two wraithbone limbs. And he has a weapon mount next to him. Now this is a magnetized weapon mount, so that I could swap out between the two different weapon options the Warp Lord has. They have the spiker cannon, and I actually called it these are what I call it, spiker cannon and the flechette gun. One is cluster spines and the other one's a stinger salvo. So anyway, I used to have a webway gate component in there, but it didn't really come out as well as I'm looking for. So I'm looking right now for essentially a lens that will fit nicely in there, and using different metallic blue paint with swirls and such, I will be able to take that transparent lens and make it look like a webway gate that's opening up, and I'll glue that into that empty space right up there. But still, even if I don't have that mounted in there, this represents it's a finished model. Just the webway gate isn't activated. So this is either before they arrive or after he's brought in all of his little dragon or dinosaur minions. I'll actually cover what I call death spitters in the future video, and those are the creatures that he will actually bring out of the webway, and they represent the Termagants. But in this particular case, it was a simple matter of looking at the model and kind of just thinking, well, what is this? What can this thing do? Now I could give it, regen. I could do something like that, but really, just look at the model itself. With its beak-like mouth, that's perfect crushing claws. So this particular model, when I put it on the table, does have crushing claws, but that's really the only upgrade, aside from whatever weapon system I might swap out in there. Now, one of the things I want to be able to do is add in abilities like toxin sacs, adrenal glands, or regeneration. And so I'll introduce here how I can do this across the entire line, wherever we're dealing with the things that are not just the dinosaur creatures. We're actually talking about the Exodites themselves. Again, going back to the previous Independent Clan concept and building on their abilities, the Exodites will use herbal concoctions, either whether stimulants or poisons or medicinal type things, to enhance their abilities or the dragon's abilities. So, regen, it's just essentially they fed him with a special concoction that actually helps his wounds heal faster. If I want to give him adrenal glands, which I don't know that I do that with this particular model, but I could, and that's just pumping him with stimulants of some sort. Again, herbal stimulant, or giving him like a poison bite. I could either have them feeding him some toxic kind of or some food that gives them this cause them to generate some toxins within their saliva or what have you. Or they could actually just paint the poison onto the claws and what have you. So that's kind of how I've worked in some of those different rules that I could add on without actually making the monster itself, the dragon itself, the dinosaur, a specific poison type creature or with some natural ability to heal its wounds. So the one more thing that I'm able to add, if I really feel like it, is instead of just going with the spiker cannon or flechette gun, again that's the stinger salvo and cluster spines, I could add another weapon. Now I don't want to do it on this particular model, though I could technically, because I can actually add those thorax upgrades or thorax biomorphs. You know, the shredder shard beetles, desiccated larvae, or electroshock grubs. So again, that could just be another Eldar weapon sitting up on top of that howdah. And because it's a monstrous creature, it can fire 2 weapons. So probably not a bad idea sometimes, but that is, it's extra 10 points I might want to spend somewhere else. So this is kind of how the model came to be, and how I began to interpret for getting the whole idea of bringing these dinosaurs on instead of spawning through the webway. One thing I had to try to figure out was, though, how to deal with this synaptic backlash. So when the Tervagon dies, all Tervagons within a certain range can be hurt. And I thought, well, it's a webway generator. Maybe when the model is destroyed, it begins to overload and it goes off. And because there's a connection between the creatures that just came out of the webway and the generator here, there's, like a lightning kind of effect. It goes out and reaches out and hits them within range. So that's just kind of the way I'm kind of explaining how this webway generator on the Warp Lord can result in this synaptic backlash effect. So I just call it the webway gate collapse. Yeah. All right. So this is just another way to interpret a Tyranid entry within the Exodite context, and I hope you enjoyed it. I want to give a little bit of credit here for this particular model. Everything from the blanket up is my work, but being a sentimental fool that I really am, this is actually one of the first models I had when I was a kid, and it's one that my mom made, and she painted it up way back when I was before I could actually build models. So this is one of those models that she did that got me interested in model building, and now here I am today doing conversions and all these kind of great modeling projects that I love doing. So I do want to kind of put that out there. Mother's Day was just a little bit ago, so I think it's kind of fitting. But so the secondary reason I want to bring that up is that this particular model is painted up a little differently than some of the other ones you'll see in the future. I didn't want to change, what was done to it. So this has a slightly different look. The lines, there is actually no shading on this one. This is just the natural shading that occurs because of the way the mold recesses and curves of the model themselves causes the light to create its own shadows. So no special effects on the painting, but it looks absolutely fantastic. So I guess if you guys will pardon the plug, thanks Mom. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Share, like, subscribe if you're finding these useful. Kind of let me know if these videos have actually given you some inspiration for models of your own. All right, thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next Studio Army review. Bye.